Amazon Prime Video's The Rings of Power continues to hint that the stranger is Gandalf, with several new pieces added to the puzzle in Season 2. Daniel Wayman plays the stranger in the Rings of Power cast, a character who's a bit of a question mark among famous characters of Tolkien lore, like Galadriel, Elrond, or Sauron. Season 1's finale practically confirmed that he was Gandalf with the "follow your nose" line, but without irrefutable confirmation. There's still some amount of debate. This is mostly because Gandalf didn't arrive in Middle-earth until the Third Age in Tolkien's writing. The Rings of Power Season 2 takes place at the end of the Second Age of Middle-earth, so it doesn't entirely make sense for Gandalf to be there. However, the show has notably made changes in its adaptation of the lore and doesn't seem like the sort of narrative that would throw audiences through such a loop with a shocking twist. One way to look at it is that it's not that the writers are trying to toy with audiences by not confirming that he's Gandalf, but rather that they're trying to slowly lay down the foundations of his character. The stranger isn't Gandalf, at least not yet. He's a being sent to Middle-earth, and Tom Bombadil seems to believe his task is to repel the evil of Sauron. This is why the Istari was sent to Middle-earth in Tolkien's world. However, Gandalf has particular ways of repelling evil that differentiate him from the likes of Saruman. The Rings of Power's many hints seem to show the character slowly growing into the Gandalf audiences know and love from the Lord of the Rings books and movies. The Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 6, presents the stranger with an important dilemma. He's met Tom Bombadil, which has allowed him the bizarre chance to discuss his power with another mystical being who knows more than he does. With that in mind, the stranger is keen on learning as much as he can. He wants to wield his power for good and to protect his friends, and Tom Bombadil suggests that his destiny is to train so he'll be prepared to defeat Sauron in the west and the Dark Wizard in the east. The stranger fears that Nori and Poppy will be hurt before he's ready, establishing his major choice for the final 2 episodes of the season. He can either return to Nori and the stores and do his best to defend them with what little he knows, or he can remain with Tom and train to defeat Sauron. It seems vital in this situation that the stranger chooses Nori, establishing his identity as the Gandalf from the Lord of the Rings, who would never view such an ultimatum with the utilitarian perspective like Tom seems to. Gandalf is a great and powerful being, but his true power comes from knowing the strength of goodness. As he says in the Hobbit movies, while Saruman believes in great power, Gandalf believes in simple acts of kindness and love. This choice in the Rings of Power is setting up the stranger to choose Nori, which will also, incidentally, bring him closer to his destiny. One of the Rings of Power's more direct hints at the stranger being Gandalf happens when Nori is brought to the home of the stores. The store's leader, Gundabel, takes issue with Nori and Poppy's giant companion, trying to ascertain his species, calling him a great big grand elf, which many perceived as being another clear hint. First of all, there's no subspecies in Tolkien's world called Grand Elf, so this dialogue must have been written with the express intention of implying an upcoming Gandalf reveal. Interestingly enough, the phrase ties to Gandalf's original etymology, as in the language of men in Tolkien's world, Gandalf means wand elf, or elf of the wand. Because he was immortal, a common misconception in Middle-earth was that many believed Gandalf to be an elf, though he clearly resembled a man. The Rings of Power could tie this idea into his name selection, as the stores seemed to have mistaken him for an elf due to his height. If he returns to their home with his new staff, the stores assigning him a name, meaning wand elf, could be perfect.